What's up everybody? I'm Coach Zach with Team Criticalbench, and in this video we're diving deep into the kettlebell Turkish Get Up. Let's get it. The Turkish Get Up is one of the most functional exercises you could possibly do. Squats, deadlifts, pull-ups, swings are all great exercises, but if you can only do one exercise for the rest of your life, in my opinion, it's the Turkish Get Up. Think about it. What's more functional than being able to get from a laying down position on the ground all the way up to standing, back down, while maintaining an overhead position with the kettlebell, which is going to be shifting as you move through the exercise. Super foundational, functional, and it will serve you for the rest of your life. Now, to break it down, we're going to be breaking it down piece by piece. If you're just learning the kettlebell Turkish Get Up, don't start with kettlebells. All right, you want to really get that movement down before you add weight to it. So what you can do is you can use a yoga block to start, or you can even use a shoe. Right now I'm going to be using a yoga block. So you're going to come down onto your back. All right. Now let's say I'm starting with the right hand. I'm going to place it right on my knuckle, right on my fist. Legs spread about a little bit wider than your hips, arm at about 45 degrees. From here, whichever side the weight is on is the leg that's going to be bent. So about the same angle as my arm, as the same leg on that side. So from here, you're going to take a breath in, and on your exhale, you're going to use your core, use your breath to roll up onto your elbow. Right? Eyes are straight up at the kettlebell, in this case the block, and it will just come back down. Again, inhale, exhale up, and then back down. One step at a time. We'll add to that, breath in, exhale up to the elbow. Now from here, you're going to be pivoting on this hand, the outside of the hand, the pisiform, right? So the pisiform is about right here, and you're going to be pivoting. So pivot. So again, from the top. Elbow, pivot, up to the hand. Back down to the elbow, and then watch the shoulder. I'm not collapsing into the shoulder as I come down. You want to think about pushing away. So elbow, hand, elbow, push away from the shoulder to get back down. Good, we'll add to that. Inhale, exhale, up to the hand. And then from here, you're going to do a low bridge, right? So you're going to push into this foot that's flat on the ground. You're going to lift your hips, squeeze your glute, eyes stay up, back down, elbow, hand. Again, back up to the elbow, pivot on the hand, come up, lift the hips, back down. Good. Adding on to that, elbow, pivot, hand, lift the hips. Now we're going to do a low sweep. So you're going to pick this extended leg and you're going to bring it through right around the same line as this hand. So if you're going to draw a line from this knee as you bring it back, right around the same ballpark is where you want that hand. So again, from the top, back to the elbow, and all the way back down. Elbow, pivot on the hand, lift the hips, that low sweep, bring that knee through, and all the way back. This next step is oftentimes the most complicated one. It involves the most movement. So from here, elbow, hand, lift the hips, sweep that leg. Now 3 things have to happen on this next step. You're gonna be shifting your hips back to a little hinge. You're gonna hinge the hips back, lift the hips. This leg is gonna pivot back, so now you're in a lunge position as your eyes go from up to right across the horizon. So again, from here, hinge the hips back, lift up, shift that leg so it's in that lunge position, eyes forward. If you can make all 3 of those things happen at the same time, you're in good shape. Right there. That's that transition from here to the lunge. Back to the elbow, all the way down. to the hand, lift the hips, sweep that leg, come up to that lunge. Now from here, it's simple. You're just gonna stand straight up. Make sure that that elbow stays locked out, right? So we don't wanna bend the arm. Another big part is to pack the shoulder. So don't let your shoulder come up by your ear. You wanna pack the shoulders. Elbow stays locked out. Once you get up to stand, you're just gonna reverse the movement, come back down. So whichever arm is holding the weight, opposite leg steps back into that lunge, eyes stay on the horizon. Remember, pivot that leg. Now here I like to use my hand on the hip to drive it straight down. So kind of draw a line from your hip down to your knee, and that'll be around where you want it to be, right? You don't want the hand back here. Again, you want it almost in that straight line from the knee. You don't want it over here, you don't want it here, straight line. So what I like to do, especially when dealing with heavier weights, from here, pivot, slide that hand down, hand comes down, and then from here, shift weight into that hand, leg comes through, down to the elbow, and all the way down. Good. That's the movement. Now let's add some weight to it. So the first thing you have to know when transitioning into actual weight is that when you're using a block or a shoe, it's very easy for that arm to just fall forward and for you to be lazy with it, letting that arm fall forward. If you're gonna do this with weight, let that arm fall forward, it's gonna be so much harder for your shoulder to actually maintain this overhead position. So before you try doing the Turkish Get Up with weights, warm up your shoulders. Warm up, get some overhead mobility going, maybe some kettlebell halos, oil up that shoulder joint to make sure you're ready. If you want some cool ideas to help warm up your shoulders before you train, check out this video right here. Let's get to it. With weight, I'm gonna break it down just like I did with the block. Now, even though this is extremely lightweight and I can just pick it up and get right into the position, we wanna practice the same way regardless of the weight. Right? So if it's really lightweight or it's really heavy weight, we wanna do the same thing. So I instruct all my students and clients from their back, you wanna roll almost like a fetal position. You wanna get that kettlebell in the position of the hand. All right, so just go ahead and grab that handle. The other hand is gonna come right on top of the hand. Now from here, you're gonna roll and press it up. So roll, use the other hand to help press it up. And boom, you're in the starting position. One key point about the kettlebell is you don't wanna have a weak grip. So if you see right here, I'm just kind of letting the kettlebell fall into my hand, a lot of strain here on the wrist. So what you wanna do is really kind of push forward, engage your forearm muscles to keep that kettlebell and your wrist neutral. Another thing too, the positioning of the kettlebell, you don't want it directly over your head. So kind of externally rotate at the shoulder so the load is right above the ground. And from here, it's the same way we just did. Up to the elbow, pivot up to the hand, lift the hip, squeeze the glute, send that leg back, hinge, remember those three things, leg, eyes, and hand comes off. From here, up to stand, and then right back down. And then to put it down, other hand comes on top, same way we picked it up, roll onto your side, and then here's the easiest way to get that kettlebell onto the other side. You just grab it by the horns, keep it on the ground, and slide it onto the other side, and boom, you're ready to go. So again, kettlebell not above the head, strong wrist, not a weak wrist, strong, and then eyes up at the kettlebell, lift the hips, slide that leg back. Now here's the transition from eyes up, eyes horizon. Here are some mistakes that I commonly see people make when doing a Turkish Get Up. For one thing, they're weak in the shoulder. So from here, you'll often see instead of people pushing away, anti-shrugging the shoulder, they collapse in the shoulder. And right here, that's a lot of force on the shoulder joint in an unhealthy way, which is really gonna cause also a lot of instability and problems if you do this long term. So again, anti-shrug. So if this is shrug, what you wanna do is pack the shoulders, keep them packed the whole time. So instead of here, you're here. Instead of here, you're here. Instead of here, you're here. And then sew up all the way up. Another big mistake that I see people make is that first step here, they let their legs come off the ground and they're trying to muscle that weight up. Keep your legs planted. Use this foot to dig down into the ground to get more power. So instead of, even if it's really heavy, so push down into that foot, push down into that foot, and eventually you'll get it up. Another big mistake too is with the kettlebell, letting your grip go weak. Remember, wrist stays neutral. It might cause a little bit of discomfort with the kettlebell resting right there on your forearm, which might make you more likely to do this. Just stick with it, right? You'll develop some extra tissue right there to handle that. But really make sure you keep your neutral grip as you move through this Turkish Get Up. Another big thing that I already mentioned is letting the elbow bend anytime throughout. Elbow stays locked, shoulder stays packed. Also, don't hold your breath, right? It's really beneficial to actually use the power breath as you move through it. So maybe you pause at each step, and at each step you take a breath in, exhale, inhale, exhale. You just want to make sure that you're breathing throughout the exercise, whether it's that structured or it's more relaxed. Just don't hold your breath. Again, the Turkish Get Up is one of the most functional exercises that you can do, regardless of who you are. Whether you're a young athlete or you're getting up there in age, the Turkish Get Up is going to serve you for the rest of your life. You can do it before your workouts, warm up your entire body. You can do it as part of a circuit. Just make sure that you really hone in on the movement. Before you start adding weight, do it with the shoe, do it with the block, get the actual movements down, and then you can build up from there. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys got something out of the video. But before you go, I have a free core workout. It'll only take you 5 minutes. Check out that pinned comment down below. We all know how important training your core is. Go ahead and check that out. Don't forget to like the video. Leave a comment if you yourself do Turkish Get Ups and your experience with them. Let us know any other exercises that you'd like a complete breakdown on. As always, I'm Coach Zach with Team Criticalbench. We'll see you next time. Yeah. To the, you just gotta bring it